I should apologize for the lack of build videos for Dark Mikumo or build videos in general. I know I said in previous uploads that I'll be getting back to building her, but my computer here decided to throw me in a curveball, and now I'm in the I need to monitor the system again for a while before I start going back to building Mikumo. So what exactly is the curveball this computer brought me this time? Well, I think my 3070 is on the way out. I'm not certain because I've never experienced this weird little issue before, but let me explain that weird little issue I experienced. So as you may notice, my computer is in a completely different orientation now, and that's because I got myself a 4K TV to replace the 1440p panel I initially bought. And the reason why I got a 4K panel was because of this video right here I got from my local Free Geek for $5. It's a 50-inch. I originally thought it was a 1080p TV, but it was actually 4K. The reason why I was given to Free Geek was because the backlight died. So I was able to buy this for $5 because it was a Gaylord bin. I took it home, fixed it up to where I can actually get an image out of it, plugged it into my computer, and I found out it was a 4K panel. And then I used that for a few days. Again, the image was pretty atrocious, but it was just bright enough to where I can actually see something. And I was like, okay, can my computer handle 4K? Yes, my computer can handle 4K. I got a return on a lot of components I previously bought, so I put that money towards a new TV. And that's where I got this LG Nano Cell as my new PC monitor. So maybe this could be the cause of my 3070 finally starting to flake out on me, because prior to I had a 1440p panel and it was working completely fine. But with that little backstory out of the way, let me actually explain the whole issue I had. So when it comes to Windows, I auto hide the taskbar here. So a few days ago, I had weird artifacting. A bunch of black dots would show up right about here and about here or so. In that small little box right there, or imaginary box. The only time those black squares would show up was when I went to unhide the taskbar. Now, obviously right now, it's not doing that. So, I don't know if Windows was being Windows and I had some weird Windows bullcrap that caused my computer to hard shut down. But initially I thought it was just Windows being Windows, because again, it only showed up whenever I brought the taskbar up and whatnot. So then what I did is, because Pepakura, which is the program I use for my 3D models, was working completely fine. So I closed it off just because I was a little hesitant beyond working on a Kermo, how you pronounce her name, because I was having those weird little graphical glitches, but everything was working completely fine other than that. So then what I did is I went to Chrome, YouTube, and then I loaded up a live stream. Obviously that live stream that I had the issue on is long since over, but I can find another one to kind of convey what I was doing. So I clicked on the live stream. Instead of the live stream loading up like it's normal, the computer turned off the instant I clicked the hyperlink for the live stream. I had no blue screen of death, no nothing. The computer just turned itself right off. And that's the only reason why I think the video card may be on the way out. And when it comes to Event Viewer, let's see if I can actually bring up that actual event. Holy, is this? No, it's a critical. These are just normal errors, normal warnings. It was a kernel power. That's what it comes up as, kernel power. And it hasn't happened since, but it's only been like a day or so since that initially happened. So, unfortunately, I'm on the hesitant side on starting back up on any 3D model, because the last thing I want to do is be working on Pepakura, doing completely fine, and I'm in the process of actually building a character out right now, and the computer just turns itself off. Now, normally that would be annoying, but it wouldn't be fatal to normal stuff. But when it comes to peppercrew files, if you have peppercrew open and the whole computer just turns itself off randomly, the file I was using is then corrupted. Now, I guess the easiest way to resolve that issue is to do backups, like I got right here. But again, I still want to have a stable system. The last thing I want to be doing is just gaming, working peppercrew, web browsing, or just idling at the desktop like I am right now, and the computer just turning itself off for no undiscernible reason. So, again, I want to apologize for the lack of building of Dark Mikumo or building of anything because, well, my computer unfortunately was so close to where I got my competence back in it, and I was actually preparing to start building again. I was originally thinking of starting to build her because her 3D model is fairly simplistic and I really do like her. So I thought, why not build a life-size version of her, use that to reincorporate, whatever the word is, I can't say words because of autism, get myself back to the building process of using building Papercraft, and then go back to Mikumo because compared to her, Mikumo is far more detailed and I want to get my bearings back and whatnot. But I can't do that now because I don't trust my main rig. Now, surprisingly enough, my secondary computer right here, which is currently in its torn down state because I'm actually going to be rebuilding the computer components in our case. That'll be a separate video. I actually trust this system more than my new one, which is a little scary to say the least. So I actually have a 1080 Ti coming in for this computer here to replace the 1660 Super I'm currently using. And the reason why I want a 1080 Ti is because, well, it's a 1080 Ti, and surprisingly enough, that card to this day still kicks ass, to be quite honest. It's still a fantastic card, especially considering I don't really give a flying crap about ray tracing. Yes, ray tracing's nice, but it's just, why? It kills frame rate. So this is going to be rebuilt in a new case to accommodate the new card, and I'm just going to be monitoring my main desktop again for a while. If I manage to catch it in the act, I'm obviously going to upload it because I want to figure out what the hell is going on with my system, especially considering I paid out of pocket for this one. And the last thing I want to do is have my investment be another broken mess. Which, surprisingly enough, this thing here is, again, very stable. So, again, I wanted to apologize for a lack of build videos and whatnot. So, if anything, though, I'll probably end up building Como, how I pronounce her name, using this computer here because I know this one's stable. And I do want to actually get her built because I already did start up on one of her legs. So, yeah. I'm still reorganizing my room to an extent. Here's the case of my previous computer I built in. I'm actually going to build the computer or my secondary in this. I got my VR headset out that way so I can actually start using it again because I can actually fairly easily get to the ports in the back now. And I'm still kind of trying to organize where I'm putting stuff like that. It's still kind of a mess. And also my movie came in today. So the question is, do I actually want to watch this? Because I do know what happens in the end, unfortunately. But luckily my Piss Poor 3 does still work. So at least I have that for when I decide to watch this movie. So yeah, when it comes to Dark Mikumo, I still want to build her. I still plan on finishing her out. But until I can know for a fact my main desktop or even my secondary, which I know my secondary is actually stable enough. But once I know my main is 100% stable again to where I don't have to worry about random crashings or random weird artifactings that could eventually lead to a complete hard system restart or just shut off in general, I'm going to have to hold off on building crap again for a while. So I think for the time being, I'll just upload videos on technology I get from my local Free Geek, or just upload a video that I actually find or at least that I think is interesting, and maybe like 2 people would also find interesting. So the next video, of course, is going to be with this computer case right here. I am going to rebuild the computer again in this case, so yeah.